Okay, hello everybody. This is week 9. Everybody, each of these are getting 0 views. Hi me. So this is week 9 of my data analysis job hunt. New table of contents, same as last week, but new to all weeks previous to that. Just combining portfolio projects into technical skills and creating a new section called Other. So, just a quick summary of this week. Didn't spend a lot of time working, so there's not a lot. But the tasks that I completed is I went through with purchasing the Serious SQL course, Data with Danny, and a Tableau course, since those are going to be two of my three primary objectives going forward. Next slide, please. Okay, yeah. So, to do the SQL course, do the Tableau course, and behavioral interview questions. Those are the three things that are on my docket right now. Once I finish these, then I'll probably be going after doing portfolio projects and stuff like that. So, moving on. Okay. Yeah, so we got work rate and scheduling, components, this week's work rate, overall work rate, my daily schedule, and my work schedule. This week's work rate, I took 5 days off, technically. Um, I took 3 days off. I was moving out of my apartment, staying in Champaign. It's my college apartment. Last weekend there, so sad, but enjoyed it. So that was fun. And the other 2 days off, 1 day off was basically just like my weekend day off, and then the other 2 days were short days, which I count as half a day. So I technically work 290 minutes per day, but that's a very low sample size, so I wouldn't weight that too much. Um, really just worked on my weekly recap and then SQL and Tableau course. So the average time per day did go up, but that's due to the new schedule and the low sample size, so I wouldn't read in too much to it. Yep. Work rate did increase, but again, low sample size. Part of it was definitely being more certain in the path I want to go. Since now I just have these three things, I think it'll be a lot easier to hamper down and just focus on those. Since that tends to be something that really affects my work efficiency, is just committing to a certain aspect of something. Um, as for work rate, yep, included the subjective work efficiency. Um, so another thing I have to do is I don't want to schedule any physical therapy, chiropractor, or any other appointments that I have during my afternoon work session, because previously that's when I had scheduled them, since I just planned on extending my morning work session. But these have been getting in the way for this past week and a half, so I'm not able to consistently get that afternoon work session in, which I want to and I'm able to do in terms of like focus and discipline. So I want to remove that. It'll still be affecting me for the upcoming week, but afterwards shouldn't be a problem. The other three kind of just left on here. Not as much of a priority as not scheduling the appointments. So I'll just continue then. Again, ultra learning principles, same as doesn't matter. Continue. Daily schedule, yeah. So I'm testing a different morning routine, which I am likely to stick with. Previously, it was cold shower, sunlight, walk my dog, and to meditate. I swapped around walking my dog and meditating to before cold shower. What this did was basically it made it easier to get out of bed. Since getting into a cold shower is pretty difficult, my mind's like, no, don't want to do it. It'll try to procrastinate, but putting something easier at the beginning of the day definitely helps me get out of bed. Um, and I'm also testing eating breakfast because I'm not trying to lose weight, but with intermittent fasting, like I feel like my stomach capacity isn't very large, so I'd have to overeat like 2 out of 3 times the day, and I just wouldn't feel good. So I think I'm just going to cut back on intermittent fasting and just spread out my calories more throughout the day. I'll probably go back to intermittent fasting if I'm like cutting, but right now I'm still in the minor bulking phase. What I have to do is continue testing and then again work out my afternoon work session. Work schedule, morning sessions will be SQL and Tableau. Afternoon sessions will be anything else. Probably behavioral interview questions. Yep. Technical skills, same 6 as before. Really the only two I'm going to be looking at for the time being are SQL and Tableau, and maybe a little probability and statistics. So for SQL, it would have been nicer to animate this because it's a little cluttered. But purchase a Serious SQL course. I call it SQL, but he says SQL, and Serious SQL rolls off the tongue better. So, but what I did with this course, I spent probably maybe 2 hours, 2.5 hours trying to work this out. He uses BigQuery, but I was having a lot of problems with that. So I'm like, all right. I looked at the Discord, and they recommend just using like Docker and Post or SQL. So installing that was a hassle, but got that finally installed. Hopefully I can continue with the data exploration portion. Next, I have Tableau. Only done a little bit, went through the introductions and stuff like that. Planning to grind this out. Yep. Spreadsheets, don't plan to take a course because I'm already comfortable with this. There's no interview questions, and I learn on the go with my day-to-day routine. For example, something I learned today, or at least in my spreadsheets, I'll make a separate sheet just for data validation when I have some field where it has a set number of possible values. We'll make a drop-down menu, but then making a separate sheet and then using a range from that separate sheet to be the range of values in my drop-down, in the drop-down values. Makes calculations a lot easier. So that was one thing I learned. Probability and statistics. So I finished reading. Pop up. Ooh, there we go. Come on. I can't see the sheet. I gotta move this up a bit. Okay. So I finished reading the statistics section. However, it's not really in depth enough for me to start doing hypothesis tests and stuff like that. Because I do have a lot of data on just like that I have that's not related to any of the course I'm taking that I want to do hypothesis tests on. However, the information in this wasn't provided enough. This book, Ace the Data Science Interview, is more of a, you kind of should already know the material. If you don't, you can find out what you don't know. But it'll provide you a refresher and then give you interview questions. I wouldn't use it as a book solely to learn the topics. So I'm going to have to find a resource for that, but I think it's less important in terms of what I'm looking for right now. So I might just do it in like my off time, my non-scheduled time. So back to the week 9 recap. Okay, which stats to study, and then I want to find some extra resources for that. Python, not taking a course in Python, not really doing anything in every day-to-day life. So Python, probably not going to be using that. Projects. First, I'm going to complete that SQL and Tableau course first, and then go into Maven Analytics Data Playground, find the data set, look at some business questions, answer those business questions, make a dashboard, then make a portfolio. That's my plan. Non-technical skills, there is no updates here. I didn't do anything. Everything's the same. Documentation, weekly recap. I included the summary slides. Those pretty much it. There are some other things that minor adjustments I want to make, but nothing significant enough to put on here. Also want to structure my other section. Modify the task completed to-do slides, because looking at this right now, that's real boring. I also decided I'm going to put product sense and case studies into technical skills, so want to include that. Logs. Yep, made the SQ and Tableau logs. I was going to do it in Google Sheets, but I'm like, I could just take a screenshot of the progress bar on the course. Saved me so much time. What I have to do, that's right, yeah, I want to make a log for my ultra learning principles. But I don't think I should count that toward my my scheduled work time. I think I should only do that in my off time because it's technically not work. You could say, oh, working faster, but I don't think it's a good habit to get into that, because if I'm working 4 hours a day on working faster and 4 hours a day on whatever I'm trying to do, like SQL and Tableau, that's probably a lot slower than just working 8 hours a day on SQL and Tableau. As for videos, yeah, made my week 8 recap. Camera zoomed in. One less point of zoom from last week. I think it was a little too zoomed in, but more zoomed in than other weeks. Also, chapters in the YouTube video, audio enhancement. I actually didn't finish Voicemeeter setup. I did set it up, but I was having tons of problems with it. Yeah, so what I have to do, recap vid. I'm not really making any other videos right now about other stuff, but I want to start doing that. And also, I want to try a different camera angle. Maybe it's better if it's from the side. Maybe a little lower, maybe a little higher. Could try out a couple different things. Jab applications. Nothing. The reason being is because from my coaching session, the guy Ian K said it's best to start applying once you have three dashboards or 3 projects. Before that, it doesn't make much sense, and once you have that, it's worth enough to start applying. Yeah. All right. Other didn't do anything. What on my to do is meet with Laura. So what? It's kind of like I purchased the discovery session to see. Basically, my goal is to see if he can help me learn faster and direct me in a better direction than I'm going, just by researching online and stuff like that. All right, and that's the end. Peace.